My daughter.
Yeah, but
Look
you know
at
what?
her face. Oh my gosh, everyone. Hello everyone, we are back Restoring the Village Project, RTV project, and we have a few topics that we're going to discuss today. I'm so happy to be here. This is like one of the best therapeutic things for me is to talk, still getting information out to the community and just being involved. So I'm laughing because oh wow, did he? So I'm laughing. Right before the show, we actually ran into, and I'm gonna give a shout out to him. We ran into Prodigy of Mindless Behavior. I'm gonna put the picture out, but I love the fact that we see all the positive things that our young people are doing, and we got to continue to encourage them. Continue to, just give them some hope. And speaking of the young people, the topic of the day will be how violence is affecting our mental health. And I particularly want to talk about our youth. As you all know, over the weekend we had a dozen shootings with some fatalities involved, and we're just going to talk about that. Before we get into that, I want to just remind everyone that exactly 1 week from today, it is the primary election. I hope you all are excited about that.
I'm excited.
I hope you all exercise your right to vote. Hello. So it'll be Tuesday, June the 26th is primary election. I want to throw this out that it is still early voting that will be going on until Thursday. I want to also emphasize 7 voting centers in case anyone does not know. I'm going to briefly just go over it, but I will post it on our page. And then we're going to get right into the topic of today. So 7 voting centers that we want to be mindful of and know that you can begin to vote now. You don't have to wait to the 26th. 7 voting centers are the 1 Public Safety Training Center. That's Zone 15. Southeast Anchor Library, that is 3601 Eastern Avenue. Let me just go back. The Public Safety Training Center is 3500 West Northern Parkway. Again, Southeast Anchor Library, that's 3601 Eastern Avenue. Mount Pleasant Church and Ministry, that's 6000 Radke Avenue. The League for People with Disability, that's 1111 East Cold Spring Lane. Westside Skills Center, 4501 Edmondson Avenue. University of Maryland at Baltimore Community Engagement Center, 1 North Poppleton Street. And the last one is Dr. Carter G. Woodson Modular Building School, and that is 2501 Seabury Road. Again, I know I kind of went through it kind of fast, but I will make sure that I will post that on our page. Please get out there and exercise your vote. Right, yeah. So I'm going to turn it over to my co-host.
Wait a minute.
Thank her.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Question for you.
Oh, I got a question already. We're going to get to it.
So I know the answer to this, but I think some people may have this question.
Okay.
So can someone go anywhere to vote? Oh, yes. Early voting, different from, obviously where they normally go.
Absolutely. So those 7 voting centers can be used, you can go there anywhere that you live. It's just pretty much open for voting as a voting center. On June the 26th, you have to actually go to your district, to your polling center. So yes, great idea. I know sometimes people could be closer to one area at work versus home. So please utilize the one that's the closest to you. I want to just say, we should all say kudos to everyone because they have said that there's an increase in the voting turnout.
That's a big deal.
So
that's a big deal.
That is a big deal. So back to our topic would be how violence is affecting our mental health. Kind of like ponder on that.
Well, Angie, I have a lot to say about that.
Oh. My daughter wants me to introduce her again. So let's do that. We're going to do our co-host. I'm sorry, this is her second time, so we're going to do that. We're going to have her introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brunaya Winder, and yes, let's get into this topic. Oh, wait. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm done.
You're gonna.
Yes.
Do you want to share, or you want to be next, or you want time to reflect your thoughts? You want to speak?
No, not right now.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
How violence is affecting the mental health in our community. That right there within itself, that is a mouthful. I think that it's making everyone desensitized. There's a spirit of apathy about it, whereas though it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you as much. Like the people, in our communities, they're numb. Like they're used to going to funerals more than weddings. They're used to, like, it's a common day. So-and-so got shot. So-and-so got killed. And it's you think about it for the day, and it's just like, it's like a common day occurrence. So it's just like, and actually it's kind of bad because we make things that are not the norm, the norm. Mm-hmm. Like it never should be like that. And the new norms are really unhealthy. It's very unhealthy.
Absolutely. And when you spoke on just making it our norm, how many people, because I was doing it for a while, and I had to actually like pull back, but I began just looking on Murder Inc. just to make sure there's no one I knew, or like what was going on in my area. So I had to pull away from even doing that. But that I consider that like that PTSD, your post-traumatic stress disorder, that right there, it has you on pins and needles. It has you, your anxiety is high. That to me, you may get depressed. You may think about things that happened to you. This was a great topic to have my daughter on. We're not going to go in the meat of it, but as you all will hear me say, is that I am a widow. And so I lost my husband, which was her father. And I wanted to talk about this because we just have Father's Day. We have Father's Day on Sunday. How many children have been affected by the loss of their father? A lot. Too many to name. When I was looking at my timeline, people were visiting the graves, and people were just not in a great mood. And so violence is definitely affecting our mental health, and we have to begin to talk about these things and not let it be the norm in a sense where we don't feel like we can talk. And I believe that in the Black community, it is kind of frowned on to even see a doctor. And it doesn't mean a psychiatrist, but a psychologist or some kind of support group. I think that's really important to begin talking about what's going on. Over the weekend, just really briefly, the headline and the media plays a big part in the mental health. So on top of not, seeing it on Murder Inc. sometime, even Baltimore Sun, WBAL, they're always hitting stories, and the stories are, 12 shot, a dozen shot, 4 killed. That's the headline. There's so many great things going on, but that is what is selling, the bad. And so, but hearing it, we have to also be mindful that this is real. So there were a dozen shootings. There were a few fatalities, and we have to look at how many families have been affected by it. How many, even if you don't know them, it still hurts me to hear it.
And when you were talking, it's about not only that, you have out here, like, you have people that are crisis actors. Mm-hmm. Like, look where the media is going, where things that are, when you see things on the news, is it really actually true, or is it a motive behind it, behind monetary gain, advertisement, like crisis actors, just to kind of like exploit people and their emotions? Like, how is that helping us, just for that, the gore and the blood and all that stuff? Like how is that really helping us in? Is it escalating where we're already at? Is it continuing to make us more desensitized? How is that helping our growth?
Yeah. And even looking at that, I always look at how we're utilizing the media, social media, I mean, just everything. We are so quick to talk about, little Day got murdered, he got shot on this corner. But then when there's something good, let me just give a shout out to Joel Gamble. Yesterday we went to City Hall, and Joel Gamble Foundation gave out scholarships to 6 students. And the news was there, right? But you don't see it as big as if there was a headliner of a dozen black males were shot. Well, there were 6 black students there that received scholarships, and I actually did a live video, and I've been sharing it because these are the good news that we want to continue to share, and so I want to give a shout out to Joel Gamble for and individual, because it was more. I can't remember the football player that was there, so it's really hard for me. I'm trying not to get names wrong, but also Council President Jack Young and the City Council, they gave citations. These are the good things that are going on in our community. Yet the media always, I mean, they could have just had a 1 minute clip about the 6 students, but then you just went to a back breaking news, this, that, and we spent half an hour on that, So I wouldn't go against that being the motive, the media playing that.
And you know what else? Like when you were talking, I was kind of touching on what you were talking about the circulation of the news, and how many times the murders and the shootings and killings are circulated, and even times it's breaking news. When Baltimore had their riots, that was, I don't care what was on in the news, that was breaking news all across the whole entire world, the whole entire United States.
Right.
But it's like anything positive and everything, it's like, you might hear about it if you're there,
right.
You know about it, but not because no news channel, not because of anything else like that. So it just kind of makes you like, wow. And how is that shaping, the young minds? Like, like this is where a lot of the issues and everything come from, because why are we more comfortable with pushing and executing, the exploitation of negative things, harmful things.
And in addition to what you guys were saying, that people were immune to this feeling of being numb, I realize a lot of people, like my peers, they always say be safe after a conversation, because they know that another day is not promised. But I feel like it shouldn't be that way, but in this day and time, it's very necessary, because everybody wants to say their last words, and I feel like that's their way of saying the last words. And also, social media has played a big part, because although there has been violence forever, it wasn't really put out there until social media came along. And I don't really know how to elaborate what I'm about to say, but
you made a great point.
Social media has definitely made this bigger than what it is.
So let's touch on social media. Social media has had its pros and its cons, just like the whole thing about it. But like, not only if you don't have a witness with you, okay, I'm being violated in this way, I'm being mistreated by whoever, the police or whoever else, social media and my followers or my friends can be my witness and possibly prevent something from going in the wrong direction, and possibly, even more importantly, save my life, because whatever is going on, because you have the presence, you have the attention, and people know that they're under observation, they're less likely to do things. So I really want to point out the social media being used in that aspect, because it has even the thing with Corn Gaines, and how that whole situation was followed with the police and everything being watched and monitored and everything. And then it can be negative because, it's commonplace. I see it on the news. I see it on social media. It's everywhere I go. It's kind of like it's chasing me around. So, yeah.
But let's talk about you made a vital point. But I think the 2 that you gave, or one example, was police involved. Police were involved in that. When there are all of these homicides, there's no witness, there's no footage, there's nothing. But when it's a police, everybody has a camera out, and they're doing that. I don't understand, why we go back to this, no snitching when we go back to the no snitching aspect when it's someone in our community, that's I don't want to say black on black, but just in our community. But police and social media and your phone has really played a part, because I've seen in cases where someone is near death. They could have been on drugs or shot on whatever, but the first thing that they're doing is recording them instead of trying to administer some CPR or help. So
okay, when you talk about that really burns.
Sometimes I'm like, I can't even look at it. I'm like, get some help, get off your phone and call 911.
But
okay,
so like, if social media wasn't a part of it, I feel like the same person that will be laughing and recording it, they still would laugh in person without the phone, if that makes sense.
I mean, I guess someone will see it and say, hey, I think they're on Greenmount and 25th or Park Heights. But I feel like the person's right there and they can get that person help, or they can call 911. There was a particular video where that person sat there for about 20 minutes recording, and they never got help, and nobody ever came, because I watched it. I mean, I didn't watch it when he was alive, but the aftermath. And I looked at how the duration of it, and I said, for 20 minutes, that to me was very unacceptable. Even if somebody could have just thought that something else was going on, but he was on drugs, really, like he was really gone. And that person, not to say made a joke about it, but they still was recording it, and they're telling people on live, call the police. No, you put your phone down and you call 911. So let me just talk about this. And I could be wrong. You might not like me. That's fine. I've got a lot of people that's not feeling me. But I'm going to speak truth. Sometimes it's all about likes, and someone wants to share something to get, so many views on a video. And I'm so serious. Where do these numbers come from? Even like how many homicides? Why are we stuck on numbers? And I think that plays a big part. But if it's something positive, it's like 40 views. Something bad is like 40,000, 40 million. So I think it plays a part, but we have to make sure that we utilize it in a better aspect of it. And when we talk about, violence, let's say someone did record a homicide or a body, because I've seen it where a body is there, right? We go back to the topic, how violence is affecting our mental health. Let's say that's my loved one, and now it's gone viral. I gotta keep seeing my cousin, my loved one, on the street. So, we have to be mindful and be a little sensitive ourselves about what we're doing to even play a part in that.
I was gonna say, like, people's different mindset. Everybody has a different mindset. So some people, not myself, but some people, and I'm always defending the person that's bad. I have a habit of doing that. But some people want to see, like, they post what others want to see, because not everybody wants to see, an achievement or like somebody.
But why not?
I don't know. It's a mindset that they have. It is a mindset. And that's also what news channels do to get more ratings. That's why they don't show
violence sells. That's what I said in the beginning, and it's really sad. I know for me, when I had lost my husband, it was a lot that I did. I had to really remove myself from society in a sense, because everything would remind me down to the location. It wasn't until actually last year, so it took 15 years for me to go to a site that my husband was stabbed at. So it's going down to the very little thing. And so I just think that it's not, fair for a loved one, because if tables were turned and that person who's recording, if that was their loved one, they wouldn't want it to be recorded. And so we have to be mindful of that. So as we was talking about even violence affecting our mental health, we've had suicides come up, and down to the point of, millionaires, but let's talk about, our community. We have a lot of people that are dealing with suicide. We have some suicide cases. We have cases where people have really checked out mentally. So they are using drugs to escape. They are acting up in school. They are really, some are drawn in gangs. I mean, there's a list of things that people do in a sense of trying to feel love, trying to fill that void.
You know what else? Suicide is not something of the rich Caucasians' mechanism of coping. You know, it was once titled, you know, when people commit suicide, oh, they're 9 times out of 10, they're going to be Caucasian. They fit this type of stereotype. But, you know, since there's a stigma involving suicide and mental health and depression, you know, then a lot of African Americans in the community, they do not want to discuss it. So they keep it to themselves and they suffer in silence. And they just try to cope the best way they can, often with drugs and medication and just doing harmful things to themselves. Like, so it just behooves the whole community to actively be involved and try to do things that will eliminate. Like, I'm so happy that we're talking about this on the show even today, because like, even when, you know, the incidences with the 2 celebrities, a lot of people on social media was like, yeah, I've struggled with this in the past. Yes, this has happened to one of my family members, or even someone that I am friends with on social media. They said, I am the child of my parent. I'm the parent of a suicide victim. Wow. Like, I am the parent. I'm the child of a suicide victim. Yeah.
To feed off of what you just said.
Look at her. Go ahead, girl.
I have a quote.
She said, I'm not going to talk.
I have a quote that I feel like a lot of parents tell their children, what goes on in this house stays in this house. And that's why I feel like a lot of people don't express their feelings, because if they do go to their parents or their person that's taking care of them and they tell them something's wrong, it's like, no, it's not. Nothing's wrong with you. And that's why people can't really, they feel like black people cannot have disabilities. They feel like they can't be depressed or whatever the case may be. And it's probably, black people are probably higher than white people, to be honest. We just have to see the stats on that. But I feel like that's what's occurring in this world.
Yeah. I do believe that you have to talk. Even sometimes if you don't feel like talking may be the ideal thing. I wanted to list some things that I was doing that helped me. That helped me, yeah. And so, and I guess we can kind of go down, you know.
Sure.
It doesn't necessarily mean it had to be like a homicide, something drastic. It been, loss of someone that died from cancer. Like that's big too, you know. And so in our community. And so one of the things that I try to do, I probably talk more now than ever.
Yes.
And now I always want to talk, and then when a person doesn't want to talk, I don't understand, because I'm like, you got to talk. But I was that person. So I'm backing off of, I don't say backing off, but taking a step back and giving people their time to, be there, but also let them know that I'm there for them and they're not alone. Sometimes people feel like they are alone, or it's only happening to you because it feels like you're in this bubble. It feels like it's like, why God, why me? But if you step out, what goes in the house goes. If we step out of the house, we'll understand that so many hundreds, thousands of people have been affected. And I just stated that, this year would be 15 years. There are still things that bother me. Milestones, her going to college, her graduating, her whatever. It could be her getting married, her having a child. We're going to do all of these milestones together. Oh, she shook her head. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, no.
Oh. But we're going to do all of these milestones without her father. And so that plays a part. And to know that he was taking from us. So you have the anger. So I wanted to kind of talk about some kind of coping mechanisms that could help. I want to say, even in the world that we live in, it's like a have it your way, like that fast, that fast life. Everything is going.
Instant gratification.
Yes, bingo. So it's like today I went to work. I have a small child, so I went to work. I went to an interview at lunchtime. I went back to work. I came here. We're moving so much. So when we finally sit still, if we can ever even sit still, because I know my mind goes 24/7. Like, I want to do so much stuff, right? But once it's settled down, it's like, oh, not so much of saying I'm alone, but this is the reality. The reality is I'm really a widow. The reality is I'm having a hard time, you know? So that's what I deal with. So some of the things that I like to deal with is giving back. So that's what I go hard with it, because that helps me when I know I can connect with someone who's been through the same thing I've been through. So always making sure you talk. I love that, you know, my daughter, she has it where her friends can talk, where they talk with one another. So you may not have a whole list of friends there, but you have someone that you can talk to. Then I would say, if you can't express yourself, begin to write. You know, get a journal. Talk about the things that you're going through. Talk about your day. You know, sometimes you might feel like my daughter, she might feel like, hey, I can't talk to my mother about this. Well, start to write in a journal. You know, start to express yourself, and maybe you can go back to it and read and see where you've been, where you've gone through, you know, to do that. There are some things that I read that I wrote 15 years ago, and I was in a very dark place after. When I'm reading it, it was like, whoa, that was me, you know. So sometimes that's inspiring to know what you've gone through. And that helps as well, of knowing your progress, to know that this is the accomplishments that you're making. So I would say, and also making sure, and I'll do my last one, I'll just have you all do it, but okay. Self-care is everything. Yes. We cannot keep moving, and not take care of ourselves. I don't care if it's like to get my nails done, get a massage, get my hair done, all this stuff got to be done. And sometimes I'm dropping the little one off. I leave this one here at home, and she's like, "You got your nails done?" Sometimes just mommy time or myself time. You know, like even if she does something, sometimes it's like I don't want to be with my mom. You know, I don't want to be with my daughter. And massage, anything therapeutic, yoga, meditation, like all of those things to get in tune with you. That helps.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was sitting here thinking of some things that helps me, but I can't really think of any because, well, it's not that I've never been hit home, because my father passed away when I was 3 years old. I don't really have any emotions other than I just don't have a father, if I'm being honest. So I don't have an emotion. It's not really hurting. My grandmother, she passed away, was it last year? Mm-hmm. Last year. I feel like I didn't talk to her every day. So there's times when it's like, oh man, I wish I could call her, but I didn't talk to her every day. So it's like, I don't really have any mechanisms. I keep myself busy, and I like to laugh. I don't like to cry. I don't like when people cry around me, because then I don't know how to feel about it. I'm really awkward towards those things. I don't know if I gotta hug you, I gotta look at you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I just don't do anything at all. And I think that's just my way of getting through things. It's just not doing nothing. But it's not to a point where I'm holding stuff in and I'm bottling myself up.
And let me just say, I used to be her, and it wasn't until it's piling up and piling up and piling up.
Yeah, maybe it's my age.
I used to be the one who every funeral, I'm doing the programs, I'm like doing all the stuff. But as you get older and you keep losing people, and you're losing to all kind of things, or you're attaching yourself to people, and it's just piling up. That's when you get that back to what you were saying, like getting numb, mm-hmm. feeling that hurt, and feeling like what sometimes I talk to people at my job, and they might not have ever lost anyone to violence or, cancer. So for me, it's like, why haven't they lost anyone? Why does it always happen to my family? That sometimes that's how I'm feeling, because I feel like back to back. So, yeah.
So when you were talking about that, like your last statement is like, why? Mm-hmm. Just about 2 days ago, like oftentimes when we felt like we're having this wilderness experience, like it's mm-hmm. just, I'm all out here, it's just by myself, mm-hmm. And I got to experience all this, this pain, got to experience all this. Oftentimes I'm thinking that this is a time where you can develop a closer relationship with God, and that's his desire.
Oh, yes.
So to me, it was about changing the lens. Like, God knows where I'm at in my own personal struggle, and He desires me to be closer to Him during this time. So, changing the lens.
Changing the lens. Spirituality is very big. If you, have that connection, it really helps, and that'd probably be the biggest thing. I wouldn't say like just constantly stand in prayer, because I mean some people can pray all day long, but I mean me personally, I could just be talking like, Lord, like that's my homeboy, like I'm talking in the car and people look at me like I'm crazy, but I'm just like, God, I know you have me. You did it before, you're going to do it again. And then someone like this morning, I had 2 people just send me as soon as I woke up, and it's happening more often. They'll just send me a scripture.
Amen.
And the scripture is like, even though I may not understand at that moment, and then something happened, I'm like, yeah, Lord, I needed that. And then I might tell the person, like, I really needed what you gave me this morning because something, you're under attack. There's one thing I want to say really quickly.
Give them the number.
Yeah, I was going to, go ahead, you can get a number, but
Sure.
we have some comments on here.
Too.
I know, I saw that.
Okay, got it.
So when they give us the number all the time, they like, look at the... Now we know.
If you have any questions, you can call in at 404-436-1277.
So we have some comments. I just wanted to kind of make sure that we recognize those that are commenting on the page. And this is lovely. Please make sure, one, that you share the video. Keep sharing it. I think it can help a lot of people. If you see it on on any of our timelines, please make sure you push the share button, put in some groups, and get this message out. It is okay to to be to be sad, to experience pain. What's not okay is to be isolated and to fall into like a deep depression and feel like no one's there. There are people there that can help. I do want to say 2 comments. Yeah, 2 comments on here. One is from Al Wise. And basically, I'm sure this was in the beginning, but he was just saying how, I guess all the violence, because I'm assuming, I just began to look at it, but he said it's increasing people anxiety. Absolutely. Even with the carjacking, I mean, it's times where I'm unloading my baby and I'm looking behind my, so anxiety is most definitely increasing from the violence in the community. So thank you, Al Wise, for your comment. We also had a comment, and good evening to you as well, James Hugh Jones II. Can I know I was not trying to go on any candidates, but I want to give a shout out to you anyway, because I can do that. So we want to give a shout out to James Hugh Jones II. He is actually a candidate for governor. So I thank you for tuning in. He actually said that there is only one coping mechanism, but he did not put that on there. So if you can elaborate on that, we would love to hear that, that one coping mechanism. And also, if you'd like to call in, the number is 404-436-1277. I do want to say, without me knowing the answer to what he had to say, I do want to say there are multiple coping mechanisms, because everybody's different. In the same way a person learns in school, they can learn differently. I personally, you can give me a book. Okay, this is a prime example. If we're trying to put something together from IKEA or wherever else, I'm trying to look at it and puzzle it together. All the reading, step 1, step 2, 3, 4, like all of that. Learning, like I do mechanical drawings, and I learn by watching. And it doesn't mean I can't learn by reading it. It just means that everybody learns differently. And so I do believe that there are different ways to cope with it. And I love to hear, what people are dealing with. And I think it all falls into place of your relationship with that person. Father, mother, So I've lost my father, and I've lost my grandmother, and I lost my husband, and I can say that they're all different type of pains.
Wow. I wanted to kind of share in some of coping mechanisms. A lot of them is tied into self-care, like the massages. Like, wow, I really do believe in self-care.
I'm getting one after election.
Yeah. Oftentimes, like personally with me, if I already feel bad, I don't want to look bad on top of it. Because when I look in the mirror, I'm like, OMG. Like, if I'm going through it, everybody don't have to know that I'm going through it. It shouldn't have to show on the outside. Now, if I decide to tell you and confide in you, say, hey, you know, baby, I'm really going through this. It's a rough time for me. Then that's one thing. So self-care, like whatever you, like you were touching on it, get your hair done, get your nails done, do something for you. My self-care is solitude, being in a quiet space, like peace, like just to myself, where I can gather my thoughts, where I can just be in a space where it can just be me, no distractions. Sometimes I go for long drives. I would just drive somewhere.
I think you're my sister. That's why she laughed. Like, yes.
What you doing?
Yeah.
I'll be like, don't call my phone. I don't want to talk to nobody.
Where did you go afterwards? What time? I just
just go for a long.
Sometimes I don't even have the radio on.
Yes.
And then I realized I just wrote all the, you know, without the radio even on.
And just a long drive works for me. Another thing that works for me is aromatherapy. Like, there are different essential oils that can generally just change your environment, your thought process, like citrus scents and peppermint oil, just putting it in your atmosphere, in your environment, then your mood automatically just changes. Like at home, I have like a diffuser, I have a humidifier, I put my essential oils right in my room.
Do you sage your house?
I don't sage, but I do essential oils, I do that. I do like my place of worship, like just like anybody who, you know, has their own personal relationship with God, like that is a refuge for me. One thing that I've tried that works so well, which people are like, they're kind of like crazy about it, like I don't know, I want to do it. Acupuncture is heaven. OMG.com. Like, you know,
I had it one time, not for that though. I had it because of the migraines, but I did hear like just releasing the stress.
I mean, you once you have a session with acupuncture or acupressure,
what's the prices on those?
It ranges.
That's depends on where you go.
But it's like I will leave from a session from acupuncture. And nothing bothers me. I'm so much in my zen.
I need to go there like before the election. I need to go there before primary election. You think they can help me out? So I can let everything just fall off of my shoulder.
And the last thing I want to say, I want to talk about vitamin therapy. You know, oftentimes there are certain levels in our body which are not they're not at the level that they're supposed to be. Like we're deficient in vitamin D, which leads to depression and all those things. We're not getting, vitamin D deficiency. Yes,
I have a vitamin D deficiency.
Yeah, lack of energy. You know, all those other kind of things. Like just go to the doctors, get your blood pulled, see what levels your body is deficient in, have them recalibrate whatever vitamins that you need to get you back to your optimum self. And the biggest thing that everybody can do for a natural coping mechanism is sunshine. Go take a hike.
Oh my goodness.
Go into nature. Like just go take a hike, go into nature, just walk. You know, you'll hear the birds chirping. You'll go somewhere that they might have like a butterfly garden right there. You'll see nature. You might see some deer. Like breathe.
I love nature. Yes. Like the walking, the lake, all of that.
I'm not an outside person.
Now let me just, what you just touched on made a lot of sense, because you know how they say most people are depressed on the winter. I mean, it could be the weather or the holidays as well, but I think a setting, the weather plays a role. So if it's like a gloomy day, I don't feel like going out there, but if I see the sun out, I'm encouraged to go out. And when I'm out, I love it. You know, but if it's gloomy, it makes my mood like, you know, so drag.
Another take caring thing is, well, I haven't started it yet, but I was just talking to my mom about it. I want to start eating healthier because the energy that you're taking into your body it's giving, you're taking that same energy off to other people. So if you're like angry, it could be from the meats that you're eating, or something like that. So I feel like everybody should at least try to detox your body.
Detox.
Also.
So
naturally.
I just bought some the tea detox.
Detox.
Wait a minute, we just went
had
to.
it for
Well, I didn't take it because I haven't had a chance to take it. I don't know how the detox is gonna make me. Look, I just need to like be in a calm setting.
Or you gotta be somewhere where you can be home.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, girls. That's what I'm trying to do. But I have my notes about vitamin D. I did have some vitamins. I didn't realize the effects of if it doesn't. I just know like aching and pain. I can get that lack of energy, and I feel that. And it's sometimes like it probably makes no sense, but as fast as I'm moving, I don't even have time to take the vitamin. And thank God, like after I had a whole full complete testing of every single thing, please make sure you do all of your testing. I mean, down to vitamins to your testing of HIV, every single thing. And so the only thing that they were saying was like, your vitamin D is low. And I said, well, that's probably why my back is aching and I don't have no motivation, but I'm still pushing because I have to push. But do you know what it takes for me to do what I'm doing, and to know that, this can actually, making sure that you are level with the proper nutrition and the vitamins in your system is really, really good.
Well, I wanted to touch on what Brenaya was saying because I'm a very big advocate in eating organic.
I can tell from your energy.
Oh wow. Lord.
Wow.
I told my mom you give me like Erykah Badu vibes. Wow.
I've been on my journey for eating organic and natural for about 2 years, mostly 2 years. No foods with GMOs, no genetically modified foods. I read my ingredients in foods. It's just living a healthy lifestyle because like you're filtering whatever you put in your body. Like I don't care if it's lotion, like parabens, toxic things and chemicals, like whatever you put on your body and in your body, you're filtering those chemicals out. So the products I use, shampoo, lotion, whatever, they are natural, organic. The foods that I eat, natural and organic food, and it has done wonders for me. It has done wonders for my mental health. It has done wonders for my energy. It has done wonders for my skin. It has done wonders for like it's just like it's like the gift that I give myself. Yeah, so it's helped me out a lot. So Brenaya, I'm such a big advocate for you to, and I encourage you to do that.
I really am into those type of things. Like I love like that type of. I just don't have the courage of it as of right now to start.
We went into the organic store on Preston. Do you know where that is?
No, but I'm
Preston.
excited. Just excited about it.
Preston. I want to say Charles in Preston. I can't remember right now. I'll send it to you. And we went in there. That's where we got the tea. But everything was just natural, organic. And she was in heaven.
I was. It had crystals in there, everything.
And it was good. And listen, let me just say, I don't even know why I'm getting right here on this subject, but how come the things that are good for us so expensive, and the things that are bad for us is on the dollar menu?
Well, you can do homemade things.
Yeah.
Like homemade
smoothies and
flaxseed gel.
And she's been doing things for her hair, like conditioners and stuff. I'm like, if you don't put my eggs down, like my mayonnaise, but she's really into that.
But you know what else? It's like when you kind of getting into it, you feel that way. But when you're into it, it's not really all that expensive because you can use stuff like apple cider vinegar. Or like vinegar is a natural thing for cleansing, like household. So whenever you're buying vinegar,
so
yes.
Do you just take is a particular apple cider?
Well, I didn't mean to say apple cider vinegar, but I use apple cider vinegar for my skin.
Yeah.
But
I was going to say,
vinegar,
someone said that was actually good.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a detox or something it's doing.
Yes. They use it for weight loss.
Yes.
And the weight loss.
Yes.
I actually bought, the reason I said it because I bought the apple cider vinegar. It was disgusting. And then I actually bought... So then I actually bought the pills.
Yes.
So I don't know, is it effective with the pills, or should I just stick with like the actual?
I tried the pills and I didn't really like the pills. So when I use it for my skin to keep my skin like flawless and to minimize like if you're exfoliating, you want your complexion to be toned and even, and I use apple cider vinegar for that reason also.
And then I was told, like, don't digest it directly, so dilute it with water, or I don't even know, like, what's the proper way to do that?
But it's like each its own, because people have different skin.
Yeah, when you said it, I heard so much, I just stopped it. But I did take the pills to the very end, and the GNC. So I said I would probably do it again, because, I mean, even though you kind of got that aftertaste, it just wasn't nothing like putting it on a spoon and just, gosh, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
So. All right, this is really good. So,
off topic.
I know. Sorry, you know. But listen, this is why I said you might not want to do a topic, because it was just more so. We're back at, you know, we haven't really been here, but we're back, and so after, we won't be here next Tuesday. It is election day, but after that, we're looking to bring in some great people in to, you know, back to what we were doing. It was really hard trying to maneuver and juggle, trying to do a campaign, trying to work. Shout out to my job, you know, I won't say name, but shout out to my manager. It's really easy when you have people that's in your corner and they're rooting for you, and so despite of anything, you know, my manager is more so, we just want to be supportive to you. And that should be with anything. That should be your partner. That should be everything. You know, people that are in your corners, they should just be there for you. So there are times where when I have to get somewhere, you know, I'm able to leave and it's like no consequence, you know, or no, you know, looking around. So I want to just give a shout out to my manager. I'll just let her see this video, but I won't shout out my job. But I'm very thankful, you know, for that. It's again been really hard, just trying to juggle everything. And again, that kind of can go back to your mental health. When you are juggling so many things at one time, you're not taking care of yourself to the point where, like, I haven't started my vitamins yet, or you know, they just gave me like the vitamins a month ago maybe, and it's just been I've been grinding, so busy, and that makes a difference. So we have to make sure that I don't say not take those excuses, but we have to make sure that we really take time for ourselves. And James, he just commented again. I don't know if you're not able to call in, or you just prefer to comment, but I'm gonna read it. But you're more than welcome, James, to call in. The number is 404-436-1277. But I will read your comment. And it says, they are on different topics. I will call. Okay, we will call one day. He might be campaigning. So he says I'm running for governor, which I gave you a shout out. And this is good. My solution for reducing the murder rate is to train and employ every felon in Maryland. So when they are discussing crime and violence, I will be back. Okay, I don't know, but he is running for governor, so please make sure you look at his platform. We're trying to give everybody, you know, that option to have that information on there, so you can contact and look.
He's saying that the coping mechanism is time.
Yeah,
explain that to us.
He's saying the coping mechanism
taking
is time.
It's
time.
Oh, right here. He typed time right here.
Yeah. When you said what's the coping mechanism?
Oh.
What's the number one? You said time.
Okay.
But I guess he's just meaning like just let it marinate, let it process.
Okay.
Like time go past.
Okay.
Time heals wounds.
There you go. Diamond K got it.
Well, I guess it's a man-to-man perspective.
It is, because I wanted to be like, the time is up to 20 more minutes or something.
You got time from what she read?
I didn't get that.
No. Okay, so
no, that came before. So
time is time.
No. I'm saying, was you watching her thing from earlier?
No, when she said it, when you read his initial thing about his original comment was about what was it? It was about coping.
There's only one coping.
Yeah, and he said there's only one. It's only one thing. And so you said, well, let you know what it was, and his answer is time. And I understand that perspective.
Right.
I think I said it not too long ago that time heals most wounds. It doesn't heal all, but it heals most. You know what I'm saying?
So it's 15 years later, I'm like, oh, sometimes I still have my days. But yeah, I will agree. Time, just we can't feel like I did this in a year, you should be there. That's why I said we cannot.
But I mean, and somebody who believes in that philosophy can probably spend everything to time, because if enough time passes, then you know you may not fill the void, but you could meet a gentleman that can help you get through it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that goes back, but that goes back to the time.
All right, my brother said there's a gentleman coming. I'm trying to tell y'all, somebody sent me a message and said it's something great coming my way.
Right.
And my brother just sat there and said, "Amen." The end of the show.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, okay. Thank you. That's my confirmation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
Okay,
gonna
go ahead,
say,
She doesn't want to hear that.
rewinding it back.
Oh, look, she said rewind it back.
No, I wanted to talk about. It doesn't have nothing to do with the thing though.
Okay.
It's way before when we was talking about ourselves and stuff like that.
Okay.
I was gonna say I really truly believe that the government is trying to.
Lord, don't get me in trouble.
Break us down, like especially the black community with like McDonald's in the area and liquor stores at every block or whatnot. I feel like the government is trying to break us down, you know.
Her mic is fading.
Good.
I'm joking.
Let me get elected first.
I'm joking.
Black community.
Whoa. Amen.
So you think that the government is doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I have a mouthful for that.
Because
Okay.
a lot of people say
we
that.
can't talk about that on this show right now.
Yeah, but I don't.
We talking
Why
about
would
this
you?
after
Why would
election.
you say you think that the liquor store is funded by the government?
Okay, so no, I'm saying all right. It was something that had happened. For example, Flint, Michigan.
Yes.
I read this article. I don't remember every single thing, but I do know that with our president in office.
Lord, it wasn't me, Trump.
With our president in office, he had the opportunity to help with money and stuff, but he ended up giving money to the police department, so something like that, and it was billions of dollars to the police department when you could be helping like communities that's going through things, and it's just a lot in that situation.
When did that crisis start?
What?
Flint.
A long time.
Years ago.
Who was in office then?
I think Bill.
No, wasn't that long ago.
Obama.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's the government.
Okay.
Yeah, she ain't say a
I didn't
particular.
say-
No, I'm just
Yeah.
okay. I'm just.
And it has affected their health. Their
Sure, there crisis all over this country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so,
I can kind of agree a little bit because you do have, especially like in the black communities, there's like a Chinese joint, and then there's a liquor store, and there's all bad. There's boarded up homes.
these are just businesses. These are
toxic.
people.
But
These
they
are
know
people
to
opening
come.
businesses.
Yeah, but they come into our
the black
community.
community.
They take our homes. They take our businesses.
It reminds me of the book. I forgot the name of the book, but I read it.
See,
in
y'all
high
want to come
school.
on this another
it's
one.
Like brother. I forgot it, but it was just basically talking about the government, and it was it's 1940. 48, I think. It's a book called 1948.
She's gonna come back to this one. We're gonna
But
talk
you know
about
what
the subject.
But go
I
ahead.
want to say,
Sure.
when you say, okay, there's crisis everywhere,
There are.
there's a strategic epidemic of crisis facing the African American community.
True.
So you want to talk
Yes.
about chemtrails.
But pause for a second, because I want you to
I
go.
don't know if Angie wants to go.
She don't want to go that deep.
Yeah,
She don't wanna
No,
go-
we gotta do
She don't
this.
go that
We're
deep.
gonna
But
come
I
back into this.
just want to say
This is what I
that
did with Radio 1.
y'all are right. Y'all are right. But I don't. The reason why businesses are put here, they would go away quickly if we didn't patronize them.
Oh, absolutely.
So somebody
But
can.
if there's no markets in our,
Yeah,
there's
so
no markets
with
here.
the
we're
bigger
gonna go.
issue is the fact that we are consumers to everything and everybody. We don't save anything. We just want to spend the money up really quick.
Absolutely.
First of the month is everything is always, you know what I mean, whenever the money is we got to stop. If McDonald's can be there, but you don't have to go there.
But Don McKay, it's about the
minimum wage.
criminalization of African Americans when
But these are two separate issues.
But let me tell you this, and that's the consequences of it. Okay, we talking about crack. Crack, who used crack? the black people who use cocaine, same drug, different form. But guess what? If you get caught with crack, they cater to the population. So you get caught with crack, you going to jail for a long time. See you later, sayonara. You get caught with cocaine, it's the criminalization and the deficits in the judicial system, which further.
But that's a separate issue from the one that she was speaking of. But that's true. But that's just like,
you know why?
They're not the same. Those are two different issues.
The war is the same thing.
The food?
No, this is
because we were talking about food and liquor.
All in the same. It's the food.
She said the governor. She didn't really focus on just food.
It's about the war on drugs and the government. You gonna have a war on drugs and you gonna give 3 strikes out law, right? But you put the drugs in the African American community. Then you gonna penalize the people for using the drugs and give them a 3 strikes out law.
But this is.
But you put it in the
here's why I say that they're separate. They separate issues.
So
they separate issues.
After,
wait a minute. So separate issues.
So the host, what's it called? The host is with the most. Yeah, the host is gonna move on.
Okay.
Because no,
she's ready to go to McDonald's. Leave her alone.
No. Because June 26th we could get here, and then we can talk about this. And no.
One more thing.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
She my little debater.
She got her book. She got the book. You got the book? She got the book.
It's called 1984, but it's made in it's a base.
1948 seems like 84 to you. It seems like that long ago.
No,
you are young.
It was made in 1948, but the author decided to publish it in 1984.
Got you. So the book is called what?
1984.
Where you get 48 from?
Because it was
48 because it was made in 48. But
they just reissued it. Got you. Okay. Got you. What school? And shout out your school again. What school you?
She had an amazing teacher.
She did say it was published as.
I was in an arts class.
She did. I just want to shout out the school.
It was published as 1984. Published in so yeah, in 1949.
Okay, the book is called what? Now I'm confused.
84.
1984.
I don't know why there was a difference in the years.
But it was made in.
So it's talking about the future from the perspective of 1948 as to what 80.
Big Brother meaning the government. It's watching us. Big Brother is watching us.
They always watching.
Yeah, listen. Let me tell you. There's definitely a Big Brother.
And I can't say this right now, but I had a situation and something went crazy with my phone. So yes, the Big Brother's always.
Oh
watching.
My goodness.
You know I'm always in trouble.
All right, so every conspiracy theory that y'all want to bring up, you can blame it on Big Brother. And everything they put in our community, we can buy it up and we can blame that on Big Brother. And every drug they put in our community, we can use it and then blame it on who? Big Brother.
So listen, there's a food desert.
We need accountability.
There's a food desert in certain communities.
Word.
And if I'm a single mom and I'm in the area and there's no markets and you've already taken another market away from us and there's a corner store.
But I know how to get my nails done. I know where to go get my feet done. I know where to go get my hair done. I can go get anything done I want.
Some mothers are not even doing any of those things.
Food desert is not an excuse.
Nah, some people are not even doing any of those things.
Go see Beyonce. Beyonce ain't in the hood.
I don't know who buying Beyonce tickets not out because they almost $1,000.
Okay, I don't even know where we are on the time because we really about to go on Beyonce and Beyonce.
No, but I was gonna say that we feed into the companies because we don't have enough. We have to talk about this though minimum wage.
Because there are some things that we need to be putting back in our community. All right, so you had to say what school you go to. It took me a little minute to read them. So please make sure that you tune in. Not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. We're going to continue this. This is really good. So there's a few topics that we're going to be able to have on there. Make sure that you are following us on social media. I'm always on social media posting some great things. I'm going to probably look on this 1984 book because I just love reading and knowledge. Oh, good. So you can hit us up on Facebook or Instagram, and it's RTV Project. It's RTV Project 1 on Instagram. We have also a website. It's www.rtvproject.org. Also, everyone knows that I'm running for office. Please, if you're in the 43rd district, that is some neighborhoods that entail is Lock Raven, Charles Village, Remington, Edna Gardens, your Alameda, your Morgan area. If you are in that area, I am actually running for a central committee. There are you can vote up to 7 individuals. I do want to shout out 5 that will be going on there, and it will be Ray Davis. He's actually the owner of Flight Restaurant. So it's Ray Davis, it's Steve Holt, it's Alex Garcia, it is Sonja Merchant Jones, and myself will be actually going on Mary Washington's ticket. I'm also on Kelly Fox's ticket. He's running for delegate. There is a lot of great things going on in the community. Please make sure that you exercise your right to vote and get out there. I've been using the hashtag Vote for Change. Please make sure that you get out and vote. One last thing I want to say is big shout out to producer Diamond K at Radio on Fire, and also thank you to Radio 1 host that we had today on our as I was interviewed, David McClure. He was an awesome host at Radio 1 on a WOLB 1010 AM. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you all at the next show. If anyone wanted to end anything, just can go further, but if you just wanted to say goodbye, because I don't know if she's going to be here.
Okay, so I just want to thank my host Angie for this opportunity. It's definitely been a blessing. Since I've met Angie, it has encouraged me to go like for the gusto, like live wildly, like chase after my dreams. Like, no, it's not really in my vocabulary at all. Like, you're living, live with a purpose, live with a passion. I want to thank you guys here for this platform, because this show is truly engaging and we're talking about topics that are relevant to our community. And I also want to thank the co-host, Renaya. Thank you, and I'll just pass the floor over to you.
You got 1 minute or less.
All right. It was nice talking to you guys again. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Remember, stay woke.
Oh. And shout out to Prodigy. We're gonna make sure that she stay woke for real. Have a good one, y'all. See y'all next time.